watch this video to see how you can get your lashes to look like this using these. Good morning everyone. I have done my base makeup and my lips, but one thing's missing, lashes, and I want to do like film a series of me trying on every single one of my styles. I think I have 9 that I'm going to be releasing. So this is just to let you guys know what they look like while we're waiting for them to drop. First up, we have Kawaii Curse. So I'm going to put these on and show you guys like my tips and tricks, how I apply them and stuff like that, and also so you guys can see what every single lash style looks like on. First things first, you want to make sure your eye area is clean, oil free, makeup free, everything like that. I've kind of just like wiped around my eyes. I normally do it before I do my makeup and before I do my skincare and stuff like that. So that's just something to be mindful of. There's no oils or anything, sunscreens, nothing like that on your lashes / eye area. The next thing I like to do is go in with a lash curler. It just helps not stick your lashes to your bottom lashes, and it really makes the application a lot easier. So I'm going to go through and curl both my eyeballs. It's literally like a torture device. If you had like previous lashes on, I always like go through with Unholy Release, put it on, let it sit for a bit, have a shower, take off, make sure all the glue's off as well before you apply your new set. So next thing, I've seen a bunch of videos, so you can like tape up your eyes like this with some tape to make sure you don't get them to like stick together. I've also seen people put Vaseline on their like lower lash line so it doesn't stick. So you kind of just like figure out what works best for you. But now going in with Hell Hold, which is my cluster lash adhesive. I'm using this on, this is like one of my, before I got them labeled, because I have like a whole heap. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to stamp that at the very base of my lashes, but because I'm going to go from inner to outer, I'm just going to do to here, and then I go through and I put this on as I go as well, you'll see. So I'm literally just stamping it at the base of my lashes, like this. So yeah, I've literally just done the bonder to there. Now I'm going to make sure my tweezers are clean. This is very essential because that shit will make you crash out if your tweezers aren't clean. I just wipe mine with an alcohol wipe in between each like pickup, but I'm sure there's something else. I need to like do some more experimenting and figure out what really works to make these not get sticky. I know that like there's the translucent powder trick, but then my lashes look all powdery and it's not really the vibe. I'm just figuring out the mapping that I want to do. I'm just putting the lashes on the tray. I'll show you my little setup once I'm done. But I think I'm going to do 1 8, 1 10, 2 12s, 2 14s, and a 16. I'm not sure. Okay, this is how I set it up. Ignore how actual ghetto this is. But anyway, so I've just done 2 8s, like 1 for each eye, 10, 2 12s, and a 14. And then I like to put my glue here, and then I kind of just go like this. Like I dip it in like that, and then I put it on. But it's completely up to you. You can put it straight out of the tube, but that's just what I do. Okay, now that's had a bit of time to sit, the bonder, I'm going to, like I just showed, dip in my 8s, or one of my 8s. Just a little bit at the very base. I don't know if you can see that. And then let me show you how I put them on. So I just like lift up my eyeball like this, and then I go in from under and at an angle. And then I just chuck it on. Like that. And that's one side. And then I wipe the tweezers in between because like I said, nothing makes me crash out like the lash being stuck to the tweezers. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye. Boom. So something you want to bear in mind is you want to overlap them slightly as well. So where that lash ends, you want to kind of like, yeah, just overlap them. That's also really important. Okay, look horrifying, but another thing as well is make sure you're literally putting it at the base of your lashes, not on your lash line, because that shit will feel uncomfortable and hurt. Also, as I'm going through, it kind of depends like how they think. Honestly, I look horrifying right now, but I like to go through and clamp them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It literally depends how they're going on, but always make sure you wipe them after as well, because then they definitely have glue on them. So as I'm going through along, I'm also reapplying this section by section. I try to do it just on the bases, but my lashes are so short naturally, and they always have been, that sometimes it'd just be looking like mascara on there. But hey, it still works. And my lashes actually last really well. So that's the first layer down. I think I'm going to double stack them. So when it comes to double stacking, I find that my lashes last really well when I double stack them, because like obviously when you're doing your normal layers, you're like layering them on top like this, and then basically what you're doing is taking another lash and kind of meshing it in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Like bricklaying. for eyelashes. Basically, to double stack them, same thing. I'm just going to go through on the clusters and put this at the base, and then go through and pop them on to double stack. But this, I do it quite quickly, so I do just go through and pop full glue at the base. I've actually double stacked these before. I always double stack these with like a volume set because I love like the spiky and volume. I'm excited to see what this looks like. So yeah, I'm going through popping the Hellhold at the bases, letting it dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to get my lashes ready for the next stack. Okay, so I'm going in with a 10 and I'm going to put that, like, sandwich it in between the 8 and the 10 that I did the first time. I've been loving double stacking them at the moment. I've been layering like a volume tray with a spiky tray. I don't know, I'm just like experimenting, I think, at the moment, and I'm just loving it. On the ends, I'm going to double layer with 16s just for a bit more length. The eye is done. This is how we're looking. I'm going to let them dry for like a few minutes, and then I'm going to clamp them and show you how I seal them. Okay, so I've gone through, clamped them all the way through, and now I'm going to seal this in. Seal this in. I literally just tap it at the bottom, right where the glue is. And I normally just do like 2 light layers. Sometimes I'll go through the thing where you put it on the tweezers and then clamp. Honestly, sometimes I don't feel like I need to. It's kind of up to you. But I do clamp them after I've done this. It just depends if I feel like putting them on the clamp or not. So yeah, I'm going through and I'm just clamping where I have put that sealer, just to make sure everything will stick together. And just try to make sure you don't get it on the ends of the lashes. Just finished up the rest of my eye makeup. And that is quite so cute.